93.9 KWSS, and you got gas, man, as we are backstage gas at Comerica Theater with Lo-fang, who is in supporting act of Lord. Welcome to the show, man, and I'm excited to have you on, and I got one word, mesmerized.
Thanks a lot. I'm really glad to be here. I'm glad you're mesmerized.
I came up with a new word for you, mesmeronic. I mean, I'm not that mesmerotic.
I think mesmeronic is a little better, though. I
didn't mean it like that.
Mesmeronic might be a little more poetic, but mesmeronic is also really good, too. So.
I think so, too, man. I mean, you're a classically trained musician, and I was reading up on Blue Film is your album that just dropped, and I understand this album that you've been touring on with Lord, and you've written this thing by touring the world, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think traveling might be more apt than touring. I've certainly learned the difference in the last couple of months of touring. But yeah, just moving around a little bit and following some interesting offers, and so
it was your own adventure. When, you were doing classical music, and then you were doing that, and then you decided to just do some traveling.
Well, sort of. That definitely skips like a decade or two. But I grew up. I mean, I always played classical music. Like I still do, just for to keep my fingers sharp and just kind of satisfy something inside me. But I was teaching music and teaching all kinds of music and writing stuff, and I've always written, and then I started to get some interesting opportunities to go abroad, and I was lucky enough to be able to follow them. So yeah.
So when did it turn into creating a band, as far as your musical taste and interest, to all of a sudden say, all right, hey, I want to make a band, and I'm going to create something out of this? I
was more just interested in making songs, and that's what I was trying to do. I was just writing songs and exploring styles, and just pushing things in the studio. And so I was just kind of focused on songs, to be honest. And I put the band together after I hadn't finished the record. So when I was getting ready to start playing it live is when I found the other people that play with me. But
you played all the instruments.
Yeah, I played all the instruments except drums on 5 tracks or whatever. But yeah, everything else I played. So
when you were writing this music, was there an intention to make an album out of it, or are these just songs that you finally?
I was writing songs, and then I went through all the songs and started working with this excellent producer named Francois Titaz, who I worked with on the whole record and co-produced with, and it was just an incredible collaborator in a lot of ways. And I had a ton of stuff, and Blue Film was a mixtape initially, so the flow of it was pretty eclectic, but it was seamless, like in the sense where there was little interludes and dialogue and all kinds of additional material that for copyright purposes couldn't be on. And then also just felt cleaner to not have on as well too. Like the songs had gotten pushed far enough, and we had then re-recorded stuff when it was being turned into a record that it felt like it stood on its own. So
you made your own mixtape with this. Were they movie bites, or were they some?
It's from movies, and but mainly from this one movie called The Big Blue, which is a Luc Besson film. So there's some pretty hilarious sound bites. So yeah.
That's cool. Maybe someday they might be released, huh?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, sure. I think they're good. So
I want you to
play them I play them in DJ sets sometimes. So yeah.
I love movie bites. So I play them on the radio.
Yeah, they're really good. I have a couple good ones then for you.
I've always thought movie bites would be perfect for a musical album.
Yeah, it's true. Well, that's what felt really good. Is there was all this great dialogue between Rosanna Arquette and I forget the main character's name, because I think that's the only thing he did. But talking about where were you last night? Like, oh, I was out. With who? With the dolphin. Like, all night? Yeah. I got to get back to New York. Like that kind of vibe. And so it's just like really funny and French and kind of bizarre. So
we're backstage gas here at Comerica with Lo-fang, supporting act for Lord. Your 21st show touring with Lord, and we were talking before, and I heard you say that you're kind of exploring more of the country now than you ever have been. Can you describe some of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I've been to places that I haven't gone before. Like, so we're going to Denver for the next show, and that's someplace that now I'll be twice in the last 3 weeks, and previously I've never set foot there. Or like Chicago, like these huge cities that I've just never visited, and for whatever, not for any particular reason, but the world's a big place. And so like Chicago like blew my mind, like just because I don't know, it's like a fully formed ecosystem. It's a place in America that you're just like, oh, Chicago, and then you get there and it's like, oh yeah, Chicago, yeah. So
You got a little taste for it. So, so prior to you joining the tour with Lorde, what were you doing? Were you touring, and how did you get picked up by her?
this is the first like tour that I've done. So like I've in the past I've only done like one-offs or like a week of shows or 2 weeks of shows. I've done a lot. I've played in a lot of different scenarios. Like I've played a lot of shows, but I've never like toured before, and so this is the first tour that I've done. So yeah.
So how did you get picked up?
Oh, picked up. Well, you know, just like no, she, her producer, and I were like Twitter messaging, and he through a friend, and he really liked my record. He had heard a couple things from my record early, and then sent some stuff to her, and then she came out to a show and checked it out and liked what she heard, and so she came out to the second show we did in LA. So yeah.
Did you find out like Lorde was watching you?
First she named my song one of her favorite songs of 2013. Yeah, so 88. She really likes that song, and we actually had to sing it together.
That's really cool.
Sorry, which is a dream come true. It's just like, I mean, a dream that you didn't realize you had, but then you do, like, because it's not like I grew up being like, oh, I want to sing with Lorde, because that's weird, unless you're like a weird psychic, like.
But it happens, and all of a sudden you're just like, I'm doing things that.
It's amazing. It was just like one of those amazing experiences. She sang 88 with me in Oakland, and I sang on World Alone with her, and played violin on it, and it was just like a wonderful musical experience. It was so fun, yeah.
I mean, it's
But 88, to wrap it up, 88 was the song that she picked as one of her top 10 songs of the year, alongside like much bigger artists. So yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. I mean, that says a lot about what you're doing.
Yeah, she's I'm speechless, honestly.
Give us something that might be a surprise that you would say that you like. Someone like, you know, that's a little bit outside. Maybe people would think you would listen to.
Well, honestly, Dolly Parton is somebody that I really like. That I just found out from the travel agent who sets up the hotels and motels for us all, that he works with Dolly Parton, which is really cool to me, because she's just written some great songs. She has a great ear for melody and like storytelling, and I mean, like, you know, 9 to 5 is a great song, and like Why'd You Come In Here, and you know, obviously the big ones too, like Jolene, and you know, I Will Always Love You, and it's just, yeah, she's got a really incredible catalog, and she's like, she kind of like reminds me, like, I don't know why this makes sense in my head, but like there's like this similar character nature to Dolly Parton as there is to somebody like Prince or like Andre 3000. Like they kind of like sit in the same pocket, where like you're not like shocked if like Dolly Parton or like Andre show up in a movie or something, like, if that makes any sense. And they're kind of always quintessentially being themselves, even though they have like, so I don't know, I like that. Or David Bowie kind of sits in that pocket too. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, but she's just great. I just like her melodies, so yeah.
That makes sense. Well, cool, man. I appreciate your time. I'll let you go. I mean, you guys, good luck on the rest of your tour.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot for listening to my show. Appreciate it. Yeah.
It was really impressive. I really liked it a lot, man. And good luck with everything else.
Thank you very much.
All right, you bet. Once again, I want to thank Robert Krantzer from Moms, that is Mace O'Donnell Media Services, Creative Consulting to the Arts, and for helping us get that interview with Lo-fang.